Hi, I'm Teresa Frosini.
And I'm Kyle Noonan, and this is Local Fare.
You know, Dallas-Fort Worth has so many great restaurants that just choosing where to eat can be a challenge. But that's where we come in. We invite 3 everyday diners to suggest their favorite place, then let you in on the conversation as the other 2 talk about their experience.
That's right, Teresa. No professional restaurant critics here, just ordinary people like you and me. We've got some great selections on the menu tonight, so let's see what's cooking this week right here on Local Fare. So once again, we're here at Bowl & Barrel, where you can eat and drink while bowling a few frames at one of Dallas's newest and most popular destinations. Whether it's a birthday party or a corporate event, this boutique bowling alley is a dining and entertainment experience that you absolutely won't forget. And it's the perfect place for our guest reviewers to talk about this week's restaurants. So here's Teresa with this week's guests.
Okay, so this week we brought in 3 people from the DFW area who suggested their favorite restaurant for the others to go visit. Come back here and tell us what they think. Our guests this week are Trey Lentz, an attorney from Uptown, and suggested Driftwood. Paul Guyon, an industrial salesman from Dallas, who suggested Baboush, and Cass McMahon is a maitre d' from North Dallas who wanted the group to try FT33.
So we'll start off this week with a casual yet high-quality seafood joint in the Oak Cliff area, where the menu may change, but the experience never flounders.
Hi, I'm Omar Flores, executive chef of Driftwood restaurant here in Dallas, Texas. Driftwood is a seafood restaurant. I call it a seafood restaurant because we primarily only serve seafood. No red beef on the menu. It's a little different from Dallas. You know, Dallas is kind of used to seafood restaurants, also being heavy with meat aspect. I would say the seafood we serve here is done on more of a, I guess, a contemporary fashion. You know, we take seafood and we compose dishes out of it. So we get great stuff from the Gulf, East Coast, West Coast. And the menu's constantly changing here. It kind of all depends on availability. Literally all the stuff that I get in is overnighted. You know, I have the guys calling me on the docks, telling me what's fresh, what's in, and I'll have it on my door the next morning. I would say the atmosphere here is, you know, very laid back. You know, being in Oak Cliff, you know, it is kind of come as you are. You can come in here, have a quick glass of wine, an entree, and leave out of here for less than $50.
So Trey, your choice for the group to go to was Driftwood. Yes. What makes that one of your favorite restaurants?
Well, just kind of in the location, being in the Bishop Art District. You know, once a restaurant opens over there, it's kind of like rush across the Trinity, who can get reservations, and it's a seafood restaurant, and I feel like Dallas lacks in some seafood areas, and I saw the menu online and, you know, made that rush, went there, and I found myself praying that the other people at my table wouldn't eat the other oysters, and they had an oyster with an apple caviar, and, you know, you're sucking the oysters. It was wonderful.
Ooh, yum.
Just a great place.
Besides the oysters, do you have other favorite dishes that you like to get there?
Well, when I talked to the waiter there, he was very passionate that I ordered the octopus. It was a charred octopus. And normally when you order octopus at restaurants in Dallas, it's a small piece of octopus, small tentacles. Mm-hmm. I found myself with tentacles wrapped around the plate, and I'm cutting the tentacles, dragging it across the sauce. It was just wonderful. It's a great experience. It wasn't fishy. It was just a perfect kind of tang to it.
Now, what did you find had you ever been there before, first of all?
Yes, I actually, when it first opened, made that rush across the Trinity, tried to get the reservations, all that stuff. So, love their octopus. I think it's kind of one of those dishes that's kind of hard to cook sometimes, and so it's easy to mess up. But I think that they do it amazing, amazing, amazing. So good.
I know you mentioned the appetizer, the oysters, but is there a special dessert that you get there, a specialty drink or anything that you like there as well?
I'll say whenever I showed up, we didn't make reservations. And they said it would be about an hour and a half wait. So I'd highly recommend to get reservations. It's a very small boutique type place.
Okay.
So we sat at the bar and talked to the bartender. He was very nice. Ordered some drinks off of the menu, and then I just asked him if he had a specialty drink himself. And he made me a serrano pepper infused vodka drink. Ooh, and it was one of the best, he called it a margarita, one of the best margaritas I've ever had. He came up with it, he recommended it, and I actually had 2 of them, so it was very good.
It's a neat little bar section too. You can sit on little tractor chairs and
enjoy your time at the bar. But when we did sit, I had the pork chops. And my date had the grouper fish. They were actually out of the fish they typically serve, so she ordered grouper, but it was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, the pork chops had a nice sauce on them, and her grouper was almost char grilled a little bit and then baked afterwards. So yeah, it was, both meals were delicious.
That sounds really good.
I had a unique experience because I also took a date there, and I didn't know she was vegetarian, and there's no vegetarian options per se on the menu, and we told the waiter that, and he was like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." And he just brought us a plate of an amazing meal for my date. She loved it. It was
Nice
great.
wait staff too.
Great wait, very passionate about it.
Very passionate. I think there was only 2 waiters in the entire place, so they were busy, but they spent a lot of time at each table. They were very thorough about the menu. Yeah, the service was very good.
What is the atmosphere like? I know you said it's kind of quaint, like up at the bar, what you're sitting on. What are you wearing when you go there? It sounds like it's a date place, so it's a nice place to go. But what's the atmosphere?
It's very clean. You feel like you're under the sea, kind of electric.
It's, very ethereal, like the white in there, and they have, the wood sculptures on the walls, and it's just very, relaxing and very Southern California. You feel like you're almost at the beach.
Is this a higher end price? What's the value on something like on a meal when you go here? Is it?
In my opinion, the value that I got out of the meals was exactly where it should be priced. Including the drinks as well.
Okay. So how would you rate this one, Paul, on a scale from 1 to 5, if 5's the highest?
1 to 5, I had it at a 4.
Okay.
I did.
How would you rate this?
I would probably say about a 4, maybe a 4.5, pushing it. Again, the service was so good, and the food was just, I felt like was really a great value and really satisfies my taste buds. But I'd say, 4, 4.5, yeah.
Trey, I know that you love it.
I love it, but there's always room for improvement,
Sure.
so I'd say 4.5.
All right, we'll take it. Thanks for recommending it to us.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll visit a place that puts a modern twist on Mediterranean cuisine. Stay with us.
When you come to Baboush, don't expect to order by yourself. Make sure you order a couple different items with your friends and guests.
If you're looking for a truly unique entertainment experience, look no further than Bowl & Barrel, Dallas' only modern American restaurant and tavern complete with 15 state-of-the-art bowling lanes. Whether it's a casual date, a private party, or a corporate event, Bowl & Barrel is a great way to spend an afternoon or evening, and the place everyone will be talking about the next day. Great food, great drinks, and great bowling. What are you waiting for? Let's roll. Bowl & Barrel, 8084 Park Lane, Dallas.
So welcome back to Local Fare, where we take 3 regular DFW restaurant goers, have them suggest their favorite restaurant, and then have the other 2 go for a visit. Then they all come back and tell us what they think. Paul Gaillon says Baboush melds the lavish and exotic vibe of Morocco with 21st century class and chic to create one of Uptown's most promising dining spots.
Hello, my name is Yasser Khalaf. I'm the owner of Baboush Restaurant at Tourist Village. Baboush is a Moroccan-Lebanese concept. It was created to reflect a Moroccan market called Baboush. We have all the traditional food that you could expect out of a Lebanese Moroccan restaurant, the hummus, the baba ganoush, shwa or kebab, which is like Moroccan skewers, the different kind of bread that we serve. We took a lot of the Moroccan food, Lebanese food, and turned it to, a very small plate to share. We have, for example, Moroccan tea, mint tea, which is made out of green tea, honey, rose water, and a lot of mint. It's very intimate, very sexy, if you will, especially at nighttime. The experience is wonderful, the food is amazing, the service, the hospitality that we bring with Baboush. We like to feed you, we like to take care of you, we like to explain to you about our culture. That's the whole experience of Moroccan hospitality and Middle Eastern hospitality.
All right, Paul, let's talk Baboush. I love the name of it. How often do you go, and what makes this one of your favorite restaurants?
Have you ever been to Baboush?
I have not yet.
Okay. If you've never been to Baboush, I personally like it because I like Dallas a lot, but whenever you walk into Baboush, you do not feel like you're in Dallas. You feel like you're either in Morocco or Turkey or somewhere else in the Middle East or Mediterranean. Just the ambience will blow you away. When you get to the food, that's even better. But if you go on Wednesday nights, we were talking earlier, they actually have a violinist there, a little Middle Eastern music. The main thing for me is just the ambience, and then the food is definitely a positive second to that.
Now, do you have set things that you really like to get there? And do you do several courses or,
Always get the baba ganoush, which baba ganoush. Their pita bread is always freshly made. And if you haven't had fresh made pita bread, please go there because you will not want any other type of pita bread. Their lamb chops are very, very authentic, ginger spiced. Their chicken kebabs, actually all their kebabs. They have chicken kebabs, beef kebabs. And then if you just want to go, there's actually a wine spot next door. So if you just want to go and have, say, dessert and wine, you can get wine as well, and then get their baklava, which is completely out of this world. I would say it's the best in Dallas.
Wow.
And yeah, and it kind of encompasses, again, it's considered a Lebanese place, but it has a little mixture of all types of Mediterranean countries.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not straight Greek baklava. It's kind of a mixture, and until you try it, you really won't know what I'm talking about, but you'll like it.
All right. Well, tell me about your experience when you went to
Well, I actually, when I went there, it was a great experience. You know, like you said, you're transformed into another place.
Had you been before, or was that your first?
It was my first time.
That was your first time, okay.
And we luckily got, there's a bench with pillows and like these Moroccan trays as your table. So you really feel like you're in the moment in another place. And you know, like you said, the baba ganoush. Well, the guy came up and asked for what we want. And we were like, it's our first time. He goes, you need to try the sampler. And obey the man that says to try the sampler. It was the hummus, the baba ganoush. A little bit of everything. Oh, it was amazing.
The tomato, the sweet tomato spread, the olives, really good. Yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was just a great. And there was a belly dancer in the background that really incorporated the theme of I was in the plus. Yes.
Now, is that every night? Do they have a
Thursday nights?
I feel like I need to go back at another time because we went on a Sunday afternoon and we had been out shopping and that kind of thing, me and my girlfriend. And so we, you know, I wanted to come because we had been invited by the guys. And so I stepped in there and I didn't really get the same experience. I didn't feel like I was outside of Dallas, but it might have just been a timing thing, you know, because it wasn't as busy. There's maybe like 3 other tables in the restaurant. So, you know, now I'm intrigued to go back on like a Wednesday or
They'll take
over the
you
weekend.
up, pull you up, and give you a belly dancing lesson. You become part of the scene.
Do I look like a belly dancing girl? I just, maybe I am. I don't know.
It's kind of a hidden gem because it's been around for a couple of years now, but it's kind of in off of side street of McKinney.
Okay.
So if you don't know exactly where it's at, you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely different when it comes to your regular uptown restaurants.
What were the meals that you had? The sampler, you said, for your appetizer.
I did the sampler and did the beef and fig.
Yeah, I did the sampler as well. My girlfriend got the shrimp kebabs, and like I tasted the tomato sauce that came on, amazing. And then I did like cigar roll, or like the beef cigar rolls, and then a side of couscous as well, which was really good because it had this like almost like chutney with sweet onions and raisins and saffron. It was really good. I still have some in my fridge. So.
I love it. So rate this one for me. How would you rate this on a scale? I know you went on a Sunday night, so how would you rate this one?
I'll definitely be back. I would probably give it a 4.5 also, just because I feel like I didn't really get the whole experience, and I think because they were a little slower, that the wait staff wasn't nearly as attentive as I would like.
Okay.
But other than that, the food was amazing. The food alone would bring me back easily.
Excellent. Trey, how about
4.5 once again.
4.5.
Always room for improvement, but just amazing atmosphere and great food.
But you'll go back.
Oh yes, definitely.
Obviously, you love this one.
I would say, and when you go, you have to do everything. Get an appetizer, main course, dessert, and then also smoke the hookah. And get involved with the belly dancer or the violinist, and I would give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Excellent. It's a whole experience.
Especially
it sounds like.
It is.
too. They had an like a pineapple infused cardamom vodka thing. It was good.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Paul. Thanks for recommending it for us. When we come back, we'll visit a place where meals are inventive and surprising, and quality handcrafted dishes are the norm.
You know, it's a relatively small menu, concise, seasonal.
If you're looking for a truly unique entertainment experience, look no further than Bowl & Barrel, Dallas' only modern American restaurant and tavern complete with 15 state-of-the-art bowling lanes. Whether it's a casual date, a private party, or a corporate event, Bowl & Barrel is a great way to spend an afternoon or evening, and the place everyone will be talking about the next day. Great food, great drinks, and great bowling. What are you waiting for? Let's roll. Bowl & Barrel, 8084 Park Lane, Dallas.
So welcome back. We have one more restaurant to discuss this week, and it was suggested by Cass McMahon, who says that Dallas's FT33 uses the choicest seasonal ingredients to create a meal that's distinguished and modernist without straying from deliciousness.
Hi, my name is Jeff Gregory. I'm the general manager and wine director here at FT33 in Dallas's Design District. It's a small size menu meant to be kind of concise in the number of dishes that it offers. They change on kind of a frequent rotation based on seasonality and the availability of the meats and vegetables that we source through farmers in North Texas and Oklahoma. Presented in a very striking and modern style on the plate. The beverage program is meant to kind of complement the food menu and reflect kind of the same sensibilities. Definitely changing with the seasons, whether it's cocktails, beers, or wines by the glass. Make modifications that allow the selection to represent what's going to be appropriate with the cuisine of that season. So the atmosphere is meant to be fairly clean and somewhat industrial, but at the same time warm and inviting.
All right, Cass, you recommended FT33.
I did.
Interesting name
Yes.
for a restaurant.
Yes.
What do you like about this place?
The thing I love the most about FT33 is that their menu is constantly changing. We were talking earlier about like bouncing from restaurant to restaurant, and I have loyalty, but not that much loyalty, where I want to go someplace and be wowed when I'm there, and I don't like to try the same thing over and over. So I love that their menu, you have to find out the day of, like make a reservation, go on their website the day of, they'll let you know what you're having for dinner, and you get to choose that day. If, you know, some things will carry over, but a lot of things will change.
Have you ever had a favorite dish and it didn't carry over though, and you went in and that's what you wanted?
Yeah, but I mean, I know the deal going in, so it's what you expect. It's what I expect. It's like, okay, well, it wasn't there, but there's always something else to replace it. So I never feel like I'm at a loss.
Trey, had you been there before?
I have.
Okay.
And it's one of those restaurants where you look at the menu, you have to Google the different ingredients, and you kind of almost pick your entree by what's in it. Like, for example,
You have to research
You
this.
do.
This is a
You do.
research
This
This is
restaurant.
like
It's great.
This is a foodie like
Got it.
destination.
Okay.
I want to try something different.
Serious.
Hidden gem.
You know, I was lucky because I got to sit at the chef table, and you know, the chef Matt McAllister is right there, and the waiter comes over, and basically you can tell that he's excited to work at that restaurant. And you look over, and he's, you know, at the plate like an artist, and you're like, I want whatever he's working on, and that's kind of how I ended up ordering my entree. It's perfect.
What did you have when you went, Paulo?
Whenever I went, I had the short ribs. But again, I would say, like I talked about some of the other restaurants, I thought that their cocktail menu was very nice. They have a lot of craft cocktails. So the bartender there kind of comes up with his own thing. And it's things that you've never had before. And also the ambience is good there as well because the tables are very close together. So whenever you sit down next to someone, you're actually kind of forced to sometimes get engaged in their conversation. So
Like with complete strangers.
with
that you don't
complete
know.
strangers, even if you don't know them.
I'd say also with the cocktail list, the wine, I'm a big wine person, so the wine list is approachable. They have stuff that's on the higher end, but they have, you know, stuff that's like $7, $8, $9 a glass that you can still like try things that are really, really good and not feel like you're breaking the bank when you're and still getting really good wine.
And they
decent
change
wine.
it too, just
It
like they do
changes
the food.
also, yeah.
Oh, really?
The drinks
Yeah.
change on. If you go on
Absolutely.
their website on the menu, it's going to be different from when you go to dinner.
Yeah.
So if you like spontaneity and different things, then it's definitely something.
There's also a part on the website you can click it if they haven't changed the menu in time.
How far in advance do you have to make a reservation on this one? I mean, if you wanted to go, you know, on a Saturday night, do you have to make it 2 weeks ahead of time?
I'm a late night diner,
Okay.
so they're open till I think like midnight, and so I will make a reservation at 10 o'clock. I have no problem with that. So I never have a problem getting a reservation because not a lot of people in Dallas want to eat at 10 o'clock.
Sure.
I'm against
Looks like
reservations.
okay.
They have such good cocktails. I would say go and sit at the bar.
So they have a
until
bar
an open
area,
seat.
where
Yes,
a
they
nice
have a
place
bar
where you
area.
could wait then.
Absolutely.
Got it. How about desserts? Has anybody tried a dessert there?
When I went, it was like it had like lavender and it's just all these different kind of, what is
They're
it?
ingredients.
It's just, but it was it had a lot going on, but not in a bad way. It was just, you know, very different, savory and sweet and all that together. So it was really good. And we did a charcuterie board also.
Got it.
As like an after dinner kind of thing too.
Me and my date had the same as you and your date as far as dessert. It was like a chocolate cake with marshmallow and pretzel and things you wouldn't put together usually, but they
Marshmallow, peanut butter,
they
chocolate.
pull it
I
off
did not
very,
know
very
what
well.
the dessert was, but it was wonderful.
But that's been on there a long time. That's maybe one of the only things that stay there for a long time.
Let's rate this one. Paul, how about for you?
The food was great. I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
Only because it was a little busy, and if you didn't make a reservation in time, sometimes you felt like you maybe weren't going to eat.
Gotcha.
So other than that, but once you actually sat down to eat, it was very, very, very good.
Okay. Trey?
Horrible critic, 4.5.
Okay.
It was wonderful.
There's always
That's not
room for
horrible, it's
improvement.
consistent.
Yeah.
You're an overachiever.
I
That's
am.
all it
Yep,
is. That's
exactly.
all.
Everything's wonderful.
I know that you recommended this
Yes,
one.
this is my place. This is a 5.
All right.
Awesome. Love
All
it.
right. Well, thanks for recommending it.
Thank
Sounds
you.
great. When we come back, our restaurant expert Kyle Noonan and I will recap the 3 restaurants we discussed this week and tell you about next week's visits. Stay with us.
If you're looking for a truly unique entertainment experience, look no further than Bowl & Barrel, Dallas' only modern American restaurant and tavern complete with 15 state-of-the-art bowling lanes. Whether it's a casual date, a private party, or a corporate event, Bowl & Barrel is a great way to spend an afternoon or evening and the place everyone will be talking about the next day. Great food, great drinks, and great bowling. What are you waiting for? Let's roll. Bowl & Barrel, 8084 Park Lane, Dallas.
These 3 restaurants, all very different. The interesting thing is that FT33, they talked about changing the menu every day. That makes me a little nervous, because what if I love what was on the menu?
The good side about change is you get to get a new experience each time. Both FT33 and Driftwood change their menu regularly. In fact, real quick story, when restaurateurs go do some market research, a lot of times we'll go in and sit down and say, give us one of everything on the menu. And we did that with Driftwood, had a great experience, wonderful, and literally couldn't move by the time we were done because you eat everything.
Everything on the menu.
And so we did that. Next day, my parents came in town and they said, we want to go to Driftwood. And I was like, oh, that's, great.
Yeah.
But I went in, new experience because it was all new. It was a whole new menu and it was wonderful. And I got to, it was almost like going to a completely different restaurant, even though I'd literally been there 24 hours before.
That's such a great way to look at it. You can go to the same restaurant, but it's a different restaurant almost.
Right,
I like
right.
that. Let's talk about Baboush, because that sounds like such a cool place. They were saying that on Wednesday nights, they've got a violinist that you can listen to, they have belly dancers, and it seems like it's an entire experience there. Great place to go.
It is. It's fun. There's a lot of different activities there. It's kind of a sexy place too. You eat a lot of things with your hands. You have belly dancers. It's a great date spot.
I love how all 3 of these restaurants were really different,
Right.
but everybody talked about how great the food was in all of, and signature drinks. Paul had mentioned some of the great drinks, and people would just make them for him too. So.
It's fun. Dallas is a vibrant food market right now.
is.
And it's a really exciting place to live and eat and drink.
It makes me hungry.
That's
and
right.
date. How about that? All right, next week on Local Fare, we visit 3 more Dallas-Fort Worth hot spots for lunch and dinner, all suggested and reviewed by viewers just like you.
And if you would like to be a guest on Local Fare, visit our website at localfaredfw.com and click on Be a Guest Reviewer. So that's all for this week. Thank you for joining us, and get out and enjoy your local fare. We'll see you next week.